Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today we are talking about a coin that turned the US Mint upside down when it first came out. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. A coin meant to honor one of the most important figures in American history, and yet it became one of the most controversial and overlooked coins in circulation. And here's the kicker right away, people still confuse it with a quarter. Decades later. Stick around, because in the next few minutes I'll show you why this coin is fascinating, which tiny details can make some examples more valuable, the rare errors and misprints that collectors love, and at the end, I'll tell you what you could actually sell a high-quality Susan B. Anthony dollar for today. Let's get the coin on screen. Bring the camera in close. On the front, you see Susan B. Anthony herself, facing right, hair pulled back tightly, eyes forward. The lettering is crisp, Liberty arches across the top, and the date 1979 sits at the bottom. Right next to her shoulder is the mint mark, either AP for Philadelphia or AD for Denver. These details are small, but they matter a lot to collectors. Now flip it over. You'll see an eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch. It's a design borrowed from the Apollo 11 commemorative dollar from 1971. The outer ring says United States of America and $1. At first glance, it looks straightforward, but that's where the story gets interesting. Here's why this coin caused such a stir. When it was released, people confused it with the quarter because of its size. That mistake meant many went straight into circulation and were spent. Even today, you can find them in pocket change. But among those ordinary coins, there are some gems. Bring the camera in closer to the lettering and Susan's hair. Look at the details of her face, the lines in her jacket. Some 1979 S-proof coins have incredibly sharp detail, mirror-like surfaces, and subtle cameo contrasts. Those coins were sold directly to collectors and are still highly sought after. Now let's talk errors, because this is where collectors get excited. Some 1979 Anthony dollars show doubled dies, especially on the date or the lettering. Others have weak strikes, off-center designs, or small die cracks that make each coin unique. A dramatic off-center strike or proof with strong cameo contrast can fetch hundreds at auction. Here's a cliffhanger most people overlook. While most circulated 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are worth face value, finding one in uncirculated condition, especially a proof or a coin with an unusual error, can surprise you with real value. And these coins are small, so you might already own one without realizing it. So what's the real value today? Circulated coins are usually worth just $1. Uncirculated examples sell for $3 to $10. Proof coins from San Francisco can fetch up to $50 or more. Dramatic mint errors, like off-center strikes or major doubling, can reach several $100s at auction. So let me ask you. Do you own a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar? Have you ever looked closely at the mint mark or the eagle on the reverse? And which modern coin do you think is the most underrated for collectors? To wrap it up, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is more than just a misunderstood coin. It's a tribute to a pioneer, a small piece of history, and a coin with hidden surprises waiting for anyone who takes the time to look closely. Top 2. Today we are talking about a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but hides a lot of history and value. The 2000 D Gold $1. A coin struck at the Denver Mint, made of real gold, and part of a program that honored America's first president. What makes it even more interesting is how rare some of these coins can be and the subtle details collectors fight over. Stick around, because in the next few minutes I'll show you exactly what to look for on this coin, the errors and varieties that make it more valuable, the historical story behind its design, and at the end, the real-world auction prices you could expect today. Let's bring the coin in close. On the front, you see President George Washington's portrait, facing right. The word Liberty arches across the top. The date, 2000, sits at the bottom. On the right side, the small D mint mark tells you it was struck in Denver. The details here matter a lot. Look at the lines in his hair, the clarity of the letters, the rim around the edge. These are the things collectors focus on. Flip it over, and you see the famous eagle design. Wings spread, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both peace and readiness. Surrounding the eagle are the words, United States of America, and $1. Take a close-up shot of the feathers and the lettering. Some coins have sharper details, while others show signs of weak strikes depending on how the dies were used. Here's what makes this coin exciting. It's part of the presidential $1 coin program, which ran from 2000 to 2016. Each coin was made from a copper core with a manganese brass cladding giving it a golden color. Even though it looks like gold, it's not pure gold, but the coin's quality and condition can make it surprisingly collectible. Bring the camera closer again. Look at the edges. Some 2000D coins show slight die cracks, tiny doubling on the letters, or minor off-center strikes. These subtle variations aren't obvious at first, but when you know what to look for, they can make a coin worth significantly more than face value. Here's a cliffhanger most people don't expect. Circulated coins are fairly common, but uncirculated or proof coins, especially from the Denver Mint, can fetch collectors' attention. Proof sets sold directly by the mint can have perfect mirrors and frosted designs, which makes them stand out. Now let's talk value. Regular circulated 2000D gold $1 coins are worth face value, $1. Uncirculated examples can sell for $3 to $10. Proof coins or coins with verified errors can sell for $20 up to over $50, depending on condition. Some rare die varieties or sharply struck collector coins have even fetched higher amounts at auction. So let me ask you. Do you have any of these presidential dollars lying around? Have you ever checked the mint mark or looked closely at the design details? And which presidential coin in your collection is your favorite? To wrap it up, the 2000D gold $1 is more than just a modern coin. It's part of a program celebrating history, packed with details and small surprises for collectors who know what to look for. Top 3. Today we are talking about a coin that looks golden, feels important, and might already be sitting in your collection without you even realizing it. The 2000P gold $1. This coin may look modern, but it's packed with history, design detail, and subtle variations that can make it surprisingly valuable to collectors. Stick around, because in the next few minutes I'll show you exactly what makes this coin stand out, the small errors and unique features that can drive value, the story behind why it was made, and at the end, what these coins are really worth today at auction. Let's bring the coin in close. On the front, you see George Washington facing right, his hair pulled back in classic style. Liberty stretches across the top, with the date 2000 at the bottom. On the right side, the P mint mark tells you this one came from Philadelphia. The details here, his face, the rim, the lettering, are small, but they make all the difference when evaluating the coin's condition. Now flip it over. You'll see an eagle in mid-flight clutching arrows and an olive branch. Surrounding it are the words, United States of America, and $1. The design is bold, crisp, and packed with fine detail. Look closely at the feathers, the lettering, and the rim. Even tiny imperfections or die cracks can make this coin collectible. Here's the twist that makes it exciting. This coin is part of the presidential $1 coin program, which started in 2000. It celebrates George Washington as the first president. While it's called gold, it's actually a manganese brass clad over a copper core, giving it that bright golden color, which fooled plenty of people when it first hit circulation. Bring the camera in closer. Some coins have perfect strikes, crisp edges, and mirror-like surfaces from collector-proof sets. Others might have slight die errors, minor doubling on the letters, or off-center strikes. These are the subtle variations collectors hunt for. Here's a cliffhanger most people don't expect. While most 2000P dollars in circulation are worth face value, uncirculated coins from the Philadelphia Mint, proof versions, or coins with recognized errors can sell for several dollars to over $50 depending on rarity and condition. Dramatic errors have even fetched higher prices at auction. So let me ask you, do you have any of these coins sitting in a roll or tucked away in a collection? Have you ever looked closely at the mint mark or checked the eagle's detail? And which modern presidential coin would you love to add to your collection? To wrap it up, the 2000P gold $1 is more than just a modern coin. It's part of a program honoring history, with small surprises and subtle variations that make it a hidden gem for collectors. Top 4. Today we are talking about a coin that looks simple at first glance, but could be hiding more value than you think. The 2011 P Gold $1. A modern coin, part of the presidential $1 coin program, honoring one of America's most important leaders, and struck in Philadelphia. What makes it interesting isn't just the design, it's the small details, rare varieties, and collector demand that makes certain examples stand out. Stick around, because in the next few minutes I'm going to break down exactly what makes this coin special, the subtle errors and features that can increase its value, the story behind its creation, and at the end, the real-world prices you might see if you were to sell or collect one today. Let's bring the coin in close. On the front, you see President James Monroe facing right, with his name inscribed above. Across the top is Liberty, and at the bottom, the date 2011 sits beside the P mint mark. The mint mark tells you it was struck in Philadelphia, and it's a small detail, but collectors notice it immediately. Look at the lines in the hair, the definition of the suit, and the sharpness of the letters. These tiny details separate a coin worth a few dollars from one that could sell for significantly more. Flip it over, and you'll see the eagle in flight, clutching arrows, and an olive branch. Surrounding it are the words United States of America, and $1. The eagle is dynamic, detailed, and carefully crafted, which makes the coin visually appealing. Zoom in on the feathers and the lettering. This is where subtle die errors or minting variations can appear. Here's what makes this coin particularly interesting. While it's called a gold dollar, it's actually made of a manganese brass clad over a copper core, giving it that rich golden appearance. The color fooled a lot of people when it first hit circulation, and it still catches the eye today. Bring the camera closer to show the edges. Some 2011 P gold dollars have slight die cracks, weak strikes, or minor doubling in the lettering. Others were struck perfectly, with crisp details and smooth surfaces. These nuances can make a big difference for collectors. Now here's a cliffhanger most people don't know. Circulated 2011 P dollars are usually worth just $1. But uncirculated coins from the Philadelphia Mint, coins in proof sets, or examples with recognized errors can sell for $5, $10, or even $20. Dramatic errors, like off-center strikes or strong doubling, have fetched even higher prices at auction. That's why it's worth checking any 2011 P gold dollar you might have lying around. So let me ask you, do you own any coins from the presidential $1 coin program? Have you ever examined the mint mark or checked the eagle's detail on the reverse? And which modern dollar coin do you think deserves more collector attention? To wrap it up, the 2011 P Gold $1 is more than just a coin in circulation. It's part of a program celebrating America's presidents, full of subtle variations, collectible proof examples, and small surprises for anyone willing to look closely. Top 5. Today we are diving into a coin that feels like holding a piece of early American history in your hand. The 1825 to 1829 Gold $1. It's tiny, golden, and incredibly rare. And here's something that will grab your attention immediately: some of these coins today can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, a single dollar coin can be worth more than a luxury car in some cases. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you what makes this coin so special, the subtle design differences across these early years, rare errors and variations that collectors hunt for, and at the end, the real market value for coins in top condition. Let's start with the coin itself. On the front, you see Lady Liberty facing left, her hair tied with a ribbon, wearing a flowing gown. The word Liberty arches along the top. Across the bottom is the date, 1825, 1826, or whichever year you're looking at. Look closely at the details, the strands of her hair, the folds in her gown, the spacing of the letters. These tiny details are what separate a good coin from a great coin. Now flip it over. You'll see the small, delicate eagle in flight, holding arrows and an olive branch. It's simple, but precise, and the relief is shallow, which makes these coins very susceptible to wear. Zoom in on the feathers and the lettering. Minor variations in the eagle's wing tips, or even die cracks, can make a huge difference in value. Here's the backstory that makes this coin so fascinating. The U.S. Mint began producing gold dollars in 1849, but these earlier ones from 1825 to 1829 are part of experimental designs leading up to the first official $1 gold coin. Some were pattern coins, and many were struck in extremely limited quantities. That's why finding one today is so rare, and why collectors pay attention to every little detail. Bring the camera in even closer. Notice the tiny differences from year to year, the shape of the eagle's head, the number of stars around Lady Liberty, even subtle variations in the lettering. Some coins were struck off-center or have slight doubling, which can make them much more valuable. Here's a cliffhanger most people don't know. Because these coins are so small and so old, surviving examples in any condition are rare. Circulated coins are hard to find. Uncirculated coins in top condition, with sharp details, can sell for anywhere between $15,000 and $50,000, sometimes even more if it's an exceptionally well-preserved piece or has a rare die variety. So let me ask you, have you ever come across a coin from the 1820s? Could you imagine holding a gold coin that predates almost every modern U.S. coin in circulation today? And if you could add just one coin from this era to your collection, which year would you choose? To wrap it up, the 1825 to 1829 gold $1 is more than just a coin. It's a glimpse into the early U.S. Mint, a challenge for collectors, and a piece of history that can literally be worth more than its weight in gold. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video waiting for you. Because in coin collecting, sometimes the smallest coins hold the biggest stories and the most incredible value.